Boy. Beefing, brothers from another mother, letting y'all know there ain't no other brothers. Straight day, don't matter where you from. Beefing, we changing it up. 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 Yeah, beefing. Crazy, man.
What's going on, people? I am Wesley from ACONNECTIONTV, the one and only channel on YouTube where we actually adopt similar connections despite our differences. Powerful line. Powerful, powerful.
What is it? Brothers
from another mother. Don't do it.
Brothers from another mother.
You're watching B-Fam, one of our mini series that we have on ACONNECTIONTV.
Yeah, pretty much.
Another outlet on how you can adopt similar connections despite our differences.
Definitely.
I'm gay, he's straight. And basically we just this video is going to be a moment video. It's going to be a powerful moment. One of those type videos.
It's about self, you know what I'm saying? Self-worth. You know what I'm saying? That's what it's about. You know, and you live life to the fullest, man. I mean, we in 2011. Happy New Year's to everyone.
Happy New Year! Happy New Year's to ya. Happy New Year's to ya. Happy New Year's. Show them ugly feet again.
It's not ugly.
Yeah, as you do it quick.
Ugly.
As you do it quick.
Wait, it doesn't matter about the
He got Shrek feet, baby.
No, I don't got Shrek feet. He got bunions. He got like a white
No, it's just a discoloration.
He got like a white little nipple.
No, it's just a discoloration.
What you call those bunions? Yeah, that's what it is.
Discoloration.
Yeah, alright.
Your feet are freaking deformed.
No, they're dancer feet because I put them to work. You know what I'm saying? Like,
y'all saw the Connect video. He can't dance.
According to calculation. No, I can't dance. He didn't actually put the whole video. You know what's crazy? If you put the whole video, it's crazy because
I'm gonna upload the rest of the videos.
So there's a part 2.
There's a part 2 and 3.
There's a part 2.
They're gonna see it.
Okay, there's a part 2. Okay, that's cool. Listen, I can dance. I'm the type of person. I'm one. You know what? Let me sit closer. I'm one of those people that, you know what I'm saying, you go in the clubs and they could be like Soulja Boy, you know what I'm saying, Superman or whatever. I'm a type, I do my own dance. I do my own style. I do whatever, you know what I'm saying? That's just how I am. But as far as the choreography, like how it should be, you're not going to catch me doing that because I'm my own person and that's how I do. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, okay. So that's what I'm saying. So it's just like, I'm just my own person. I do my own dances. You know what I'm saying? And for those of you, shout out to you. You know what I'm saying? You people who go in the clubs that don't know the dances and do your own dances, that's what's up. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what it is.
The title of this video is called Gay is Okay. Well, I'm sorry. The title of this video is called
Okay.
Being Gay is Okay. Being Straight is Cool. But who cares?
But who cares? Exactly what it is. Could you see our face? Like, look. Could you see who? Can we do a who cares face?
I mean, really.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? We just had to share that a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
So basically what happened today, my B-Fam, Mr. Mike over here, came over. Regular routine, I was sleeping because I work on overnights, and he came over because he just wanted to, and we had the discussion of doing a video, but we didn't know what we were gonna do. He's coming over, we're gonna do a video, whatever.
Pretty much, we freestyle.
So we shooting the shit, and things are going normal, routine, whatever. He gets on the computer, starts playing music, listening to music, getting into his. Getting into his zone, as you will. And I'm like, all right, can we make this video? Not knowing what the video was going to be about. Now, I know a lot of people hit us up in regard to what they would like for us to talk about on B-Fam, and I thank you so much for that. I really appreciate that. It's definitely been gratifying to see the amount of positivity that's been thrown toward the B-Fam series. I don't really know if it's so much because, you know, he's straight and I'm gay and we just get along so freaking much, or if it's because we're just real when we talk, or what it is that allows you guys to adopt that similar connection despite our differences. Plug.
Well, how did we meet? How did we meet? Can we talk about how we met? I don't think we talk about how we met.
I don't think
no, we don't have to.
we
We don't have to get to details.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? But we can talk about, you know, pretty much.
We can say that for another video.
You want to do that?
Yeah, let's say that for another video.
Are y'all ready for the next video?
They all want to know
how we met.
How we got so cool.
How we got so cool.
To where I could just grab him like this and y'all be just so jealous.
Yeah, I'm be like, yo, get the food. You know what I'm saying? I'm straight, son.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Word up.
Right. But no, seriously, on a serious note, because this video is serious. Okay.
Yeah.
I was going through the messages that I received, and you know, like I mentioned to Angel, who this video is going to be dedicated to. I mentioned to him that I don't always get to the messages as quickly as, you know, the normal person would like for me to, because I'm just, you know, busy. So when I got to the message, I started to read the message. I think the first day I opened the message, I saw the length of the message, and then I was like, "Child, okay."
So, not to cut him off, not to cut my B-Fam off. So we decided, you know what? Because at the end of the message, he left his number.
But we didn't even get to the message. We didn't even get to the message.
We're gonna get to the message. But what happens is he left the message. Normally, as B-Fam, as ACONNECTIONTV, any YouTuber, you know what I'm saying? Anybody leave a number, you know what I'm saying? We don't normally call them back and, you know, just be like, look, this is what it is. You know, you're hearing from us. You know, thank you for being a part of the show, subscribing, whatever it is. But it was serious. You know what I'm saying? He sent like a paragraph like this.
No, it was like 15 paragraphs.
Okay, so we're gonna.
But it was alright though.
It was all good, and it wasn't some bullshit or whatever.
He is a very intellectual man. He's highly intelligent.
Who would you compare him to?
Well, for me, on a personal note, I don't know if you guys have watched the Reality Bites series that we've done on ACONNECTIONTV, but he reminds me a lot of Isaac. A lot of you guys love Isaac because he's very young, and he's very intelligent, and he knows what he wants his life to be about. So when you guys see Isaac, you guys light up. Actually, I want to let you guys know that I'm going to be doing a spinoff of ACONNECTIONTV, calling it Young Connection TV, and including Isaac on his own, you know, video blog series for those of you that are younger and are going through, you know, the coming out stage of, you know, homosexuality and being gay and you know, all of that.
Isaac is gonna have his own shit.
Yeah, he's going to be a part of that, and I didn't confirm it with him, so I'm sure he's watching this video and he's like,
"What's up, Isaac?" Yeah.
But you know, after talking to Angel, here's what I'll say. Okay, I understand no matter what type of video we do, you know, somebody might grab something from it. Somebody might adopt a similar connection from it despite our differences, no matter what the topic is. And I have to understand that. I have to realize that, because sometimes, or majority of the time, I don't think that that's the case. I think that, you know, you'll watch the video and you'll love it in your comment or whatever, but, you know, sometimes I don't really know what you'll get from the video until you tell me. So reading the message, very detailed, very descriptive, very intelligent, I felt compelled to at least respond back through messaging. But the person over here that loves to talk, okay, looked at the fact that Angel left his phone number and was like, okay, let's call him.
Yeah, and I
So
called
I'm
him
like-
from my phone.
I'm
from
like-
my phone, dude.
I'm
You know what
like-
saying? From my dude. Do you mind if I
Dude.
call it from my phone, dude?
I was like, what are you doing?
But I was like, you know, we adopted similar collection, dude. You know
Despite
what
our
I'm saying?
differences, and so you called,
Yeah,
and
this
so
is
he
the
called
way
him,
to do it, you know?
and I'm
We
like,
don't normally
this
do
boy
that,
is
but,
really
you know, I just wanted to do
calling
that, you know?
Angel, and I was like, all right, whatever, I'll let him do that, whatever, because I'm not the phone type. I said it in my shower confessionals video. I'm not the phone type. I'm not. Me on the phone talking is just not who I am. Him on the phone talking, he will talk for 19 hours and not bat an eyelash.
Listen.
And this, I'm not exaggerating. It's
Listen.
literally, he will do that.
Listen, it's certain situations and certain questions that you just gotta respond to. You know, I'm just saying, if it's worth it, if it's worth calling. We don't normally do that. Normally, YouTubers, you know, that's out there that have a similar show, that have their own similar
no similar
connections.
show.
Okay,
No.
whatever you
A-Connection
want to
TV
say.
is
You know what I'm
unique
saying?
on its own.
A-Connection TV all day, baby. A-Connection, AC for life, baby. You know what I'm saying? That's what
You
it
know,
is.
there was one person that hit me up and was like, you know, your show is definitive because of the simple title of the show, A Connection TV. A connection. You know what I'm saying? There's a connection that you have when you watch our videos. And so that's anyways, on to Angel. Okay, so his particular message that he sent was about him not knowing how he's going to be perceived from myself. Be it, you know, the fact that he's, you know, sending this message. And the major part of the message was him introducing himself because he was so nervous and embarrassed on what it is that he needed comfort with, which was him being homosexual. Okay. Y'all already know, if you haven't gathered already, I'm very confident about the person that I am as far as my sexual orientation is concerned, because that's just a minute part of me. There's a hole involved. Let me finish. There's a hole involved. So you guys know already how I am. Bitch, I will show off if I motherfucking need to show off, girl. I will bring Mona Simone out with the quickness, motherfucking girl. Ooh, what's going on, you? You know, I can do that. It's a light switch, okay?
And the whole thing with me in this show, you know what I'm saying? I'm straight, he's gay, and you know, we adopt that similar connections despite our differences, you know what I'm saying? And it doesn't matter who you are, where you are, whatever it is. It's about having the open-minded, you know, significance within self, you know, and you just gotta, you know, you gotta touch into yourself. You know what you're comfortable with. You know what your preference is. You know what I'm saying? It's whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? This is my B fam. You gotta always think about if your cousin or your sister.
Hold on, wait, you're going too far.
I just want to.
Let me start off. Let me start off. With
let me know
what
when
we're
I can
talking
hit
about.
that though.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll let you
I'm
know.
gonna sit back for a minute because
Yeah,
I'm gonna continue. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
I'm gonna continue.
So, anyways, you guys know how I am in regards to my lifestyle and how I decide to live my life. Okay. So Angel, okay, it's 19. Is very smart. By just reading the message, I can understand that he has a grasp on, you know, just life in itself. Okay. But he's embarrassed that he's hitting me up because he needs comfort in the fact that he's homosexual, and he needs some kind of advice because he has no one. Okay. He decided to come out to his family, and his family basically disowned him. Okay. And so now he's living in a situation which is not appealing to the normal person, but he's living and he's healthy and he has shelter. So, you know, that is something. But the situation of the people that he's living with, it's not as comforting as he would like it to be because he's been disowned by his family, basically. And so he was trying to look for some kind of resolve in sending us a message. And, you know, I gathered that from reading the message. So Mike decided to call him up. So Mike calls him up, he picks up the phone, and he says, "Hello, Angel, this is Mike from ACONNECTIONTV." And he begins to have a conversation with him. Now, as he's talking to Angel, I'm thinking to myself, okay, Mike is going way overboard. He's had a couple of drinks.
Never
I don't
that.
know what the problem is.
Never that.
Because you know, I love the support, but at the same time, it's kind of hard for me to extend because I'm just like, who am I? I'm Wesley. I do a YouTube channel. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like I want to, you know, I feel like, okay, I got to do this for you because I'm this person. I don't get that. I'm just little old me. You know what I'm saying? So for me to call and be like, all right, this is how you should live and this is how you should be, I can't really do that because I don't like to impose my life onto others as far as having it be a set in stone type of script. So it's hard for me to do that. So Mike has no problem speaking to people, has no problem calling people, has no problem doing all of that, any of that. So he did that. And while he's doing that, I'm like, oh God, like what is this boy what is he doing? So he's speaking to Angel and talk.
And I was telling him, you know, it was basically, you know, just the convenience of, you know, today at 2011, you know, Happy New Year to everyone, you know what I'm saying, out there. You know, I hope everyone got home safe. And, you know, it was pretty much, you know, how to live as a homosexual, you know what I'm saying, out there and not have to worry about what anybody thinks or how anybody feels or, you know, I grew up this way and this, that, and the third and such or whatever. So I was telling him, you know, from a straight point of view, I'm telling him like, you know, this is my B fam, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter because you got to always think about if you had a sister that was lesbian, you know what I'm saying? You had a brother that was gay or whatever it is. I mean, what you going to do? You're going to neglect them? You know what I'm saying? You seriously going to neglect them? You know, that's your blood. You grew up with them. That's your fams. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's still the same shit. You know, you don't have to neglect anybody. You know what I'm saying? That's your blood. You know, so I was trying to talk to him like, look, this is how I live my life. I may not be able to relate to certain things that you have withdrawn in your life. You know what I'm saying? But I can tell you that how I live my life, I don't give a fleur about what anybody thinks, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I know everybody that's watching this channel, you know what I'm saying? Everybody's seeing the B-Fan videos, you know, everybody's seeing it like, you know, okay, well, Mike is chilling with a dude that's homosexual and this, that, and the third, and he's straight and this, that, and the third. Did Wes hit it? Did he do this? Did he do that? You know what? It's not even about that, you know what I'm saying? Because that's my fams, that's my B-Fams. We got that respect for each other. You know what I'm saying? We don't have to live that lifestyle. He don't have to live that lifestyle. Everybody you sleep. Me and him, let me tell you something. We could stay in the same bed. We could sleep in the same bed. We could whatever. It doesn't make a difference. He would not try nothing. He would not be on some like, yo, Mike, you know, I know you my B fan, but you know, you look good. You know what I'm saying? No, it's nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing like that. And that's what's crazy. Why does every homosexual have to feel like, you know, if you sleep in the same bed or you sleep here or you sleep there or whatever it is, you know what I'm saying? Right now we do these videos. We do these videos in West Crib, you know what I'm saying? That's what it is. I live elsewhere. But when we do these videos, you know what I'm saying? We do these videos to dedicate to y'all, to dedicate to entertainment, you know what I'm saying? To entertainment and make sure y'all could adopt that similar connection despite any difference. You know what I'm saying? That's how we are. You know what I'm saying? Word to me. You know what I'm saying? Word to my grave. You know what I'm saying? So
okay, so let me touch on Angel. All right. For those of you that are gay or bisexual or DL that are watching this particular video, like I said, the title of the video is "Being Gay is Okay." Okay? And at the end of the title it says, "Who cares?" I don't. And you shouldn't think that the world does, because I think, and what I was telling Angel, he told me that, you know, he told his family about his situation and they basically disowned him, and he at one point thought about suicide, and you know, all of that negative energy entered his body and he didn't know how to move on and go on.
Can I ask you a question? You ever thought about suicide?
Yes, I have. Let me finish.
Right.
Let me finish.
Make sure you say why.
Okay, let me finish. Okay. So, as I'm listening to him, okay? Because it's like I said, it's hard for me to talk to people, so I don't like to, you know, basically give my life onto somebody else's, thinking that they'll be able to run with it like I did, because you know everybody's situation is completely different, and I understand that. But you know, he sought out advice, so I pretty much tried to give it to him, and as did Mike. And so as I'm sitting here listening to his story, and he's talking about, you know, thinking of suicide and being young and being gay and his family disowning him and him living with a family member, but the family member and him don't really talk because of his situation and how he's living gay and all of that. And I was just like, wow, because that never happened to me. I didn't have to go through that. And one of the biggest reasons why I didn't have to go through that was because I didn't make my label of a sexual orientation define who I am as a person. I don't care about me being gay. That's not who Wesley is. Wesley is not a gay man. Okay? Wesley is Wesley. So if you want to get to know me, if you decide to get to know me, I'm not going to walk up to you and say, hey, I'm Wesley and I'm gay.
And I don't care if Wesley is a gay man.
So that bothers me a lot. I think, you know, and I can relate. You know, I live this life, so I can talk about it. I can preach about it. It pisses me off when people think that they have to define themselves by stating their label, their society label, to another person because of whatever reason. Anybody that's out there right now that's gay, bisexual, whatever you decide to label yourself as, you do not, I repeat, you do not have to tell somebody that you are gay or that you like to sleep, who you like to sleep with. It is none of their fucking business.
Who the fuck cares?
And that'll probably be the most cussing that we do in this video, but it pisses me off when somebody says that they told their family that they were gay and now they're disowned. Why? Why did you tell somebody that you were gay? Now, I'm not gonna say that, you know, it's bad and you're stupid for doing it or whatever. Because if you make that decision, you make that decision. But you also need to think smart about it, okay? Understand that you live in a world where some people may accept it, majority don't. Okay? No matter if it's your family, your brother, your mother, your sister, whoever. Okay, they have the option and the right to choose to accept something or not to accept it, no matter what connection you've adopted with them.
True.
Okay?
True.
So just because he's my brother doesn't mean that he has to, you know, care about me being gay, or doesn't mean that he's not going to disown me if I say, brother, I'm gay.
I'm so glad you're gay and I love you.
You know
so
what I'm saying?
and,
so it aggravates the mind, soul, and body when people say that they've come out of the closet. You're not in the closet, number one.
You never was in a closet.
Okay, number one. You're not in a closet. You're breathing the same air that I am. You're walking the same ground that I am. Okay?
Right.
The fact that you decide to tell me that you're gay is a choice. You don't have to tell me, because that's not what your life is defined as. People out there, young boys, young girls, do not feel compelled to tell somebody that you are gay, because it does not matter. That is not your life. That is not your definitive moment. That is not your soul. That is not your pure essence in being. Being gay is a part of you, yes, but it's not you. Okay? And you guys need to understand that. Ignorance is bliss. It is around us 24/7. It doesn't matter. It can come from your mother. It can come from your brother. It can come from somebody that's closest to you. You think that you're the greatest friends, but if you come out of your mouth and tell them I'm gay, they can disown you like that for whatever kind of ignorant thought they have in their mind. That's their right. That's their option. They can do that. It doesn't matter what connection they've adopted with you. Who cares?
That easy.
Okay, so why put yourself through that? Why allow yourself to go through that? You do not have to tell your mother that you're gay. You don't. You don't. What? Why? Why do you?
But you know what I feel too? I feel that you know, and all, you know, all comfortability, you know what I'm saying, and convenience. You know, we all have parents that, you know, we have, you know, that we're much closer to. So maybe your mother, you know what I'm saying, maybe she's not the type to, you know, discriminate, and she's the type to be, excuse me, you know, not the type to be like, you know what, well, if you tell me you're gay, I'm gonna, you know, disown you. You got certain parents that you can actually tell and let them know, like, look, Mom, I know you've been waiting for me to, you know, make a child and whatever it is, and, you know, I just want to let you know from the bottom of my heart, I love you, and I'm not into women, I'm into men, you know, and that's what it is. You know, I feel like parents, they should accept you for who you are regardless.
They should.
And this is me from a straight point of view. I'm just telling you, they should accept you from who you are.
But
it doesn't mean it's a necessity. It's a, you know, like, you have to say that I am this, but at the same time, like, we in 2011, you know what I'm saying? Even 2010 was the bomb. So to we in 2011, who's to say that you have to hide yourself and say whatever it is? Everybody's come out.
You don't have to. But what I'm saying is,
why should you still be in a closet though? Why should you still hold yourself?
You're not in a closet. First of all,
what are you in?
You're just withholding information.
Withholding
Fuck a closet.
Information.
You're not a closet. You're not in a closet. I'm not in a closet right now. You're just withholding information that's nobody's fucking business. Point blank, period. That's what it is. Okay? It's nobody's business who you want to sleep with, who you like. Because I've been on this earth for 29 years, and I have yet for a straight person to come up to me and tell me that hi, I'm straight. Or in case you don't know, I'm straight. Who the fuck cares? Who the fuck? I don't. You know what I'm saying? I don't care. Me getting to know Mike has nothing to do with the fact that he's straight. I don't give a fuck about him being straight. I can care less. Okay? The fact of the matter is that a lot of us decide to define ourselves by our sexual orientation, and that is the wrong way to go. No matter who you know, how long you've known them, if you tell them that you're gay, they might switch up. They might become different. They might act different around you, and you cannot control that no matter what relationship you have with them. So understand that as a fact. If you decide to come out of the quote-unquote closet, there might be consequences and repercussions to that particular action that you might not agree with, and it might bring you down. But here's what I'll say to you, because this is what I told Angel. Okay? First of all, I have yet to tell anybody in my family that I am gay. I have yet to announce it. I'm 29. I have no reason to, because that's not who Wesley is. First of all. Second of all, it's a lot easier, okay, for you to go about your day-to-day business if you're not chained by anybody's lifestyle. And what I mean by that is, if you live with somebody, if you live under their roof, if you live by their rules, if they pay your bills or whatever the case may be, then yes, okay, you're trapped. You're in a situation to where you can't be free, and if you want to ow, you can't do it, okay? So, unfortunately, you have to play by that rule because you're under somebody else. You're in somebody else's world. But for me, I knew at an early age that when I was living with my aunt, okay, I was living in her world, okay? Now, I'm not telling you guys to disguise who you are as a person to survive. I'm not telling you that, okay? What I'm telling you is your sexual orientation doesn't define you. It's a part of you, but it doesn't define you. There's a difference.
Right.
Understand that in the true definition of what I just said. There's a difference, okay? So, although I was living with her and in her realm and in her world, there's no reason why I had to walk up to her and say, Auntie, I'm gay. For what? For what? Fortunately for me, okay, and this is a fortunate occurrence, you may not get this, but I'm not a flamboyant queen, okay? I'm not. I have the Mona character and I have the Twan character, but those are characters. The Wesley as a person is just a natural, run-of-the-mill type of guy. So when you see me in my regular form, quote-unquote, I'm not, hey, how you doing? What's going on? Yeah, ow. Look at my wave. Look at my pink wave. Look at my pink wave. You know, I'm not that. So people are not going to question. Okay, so I'm able to live on that cool mind of, you know, whatever. So those questions aren't, you know, asked of me. Okay, and this is the same for Angel. He says that he's masculine. So I asked him, I said, well, why did you tell your family that you were gay? And he was wrestling through a lot of demons. He felt compelled to. And I told him blatantly that was, you know, not a downfall, but a downfall for you to do, because just because this person is your mother, just because this person is your father, doesn't mean that they can't sever that adopted connection that they have with you. Okay? Blood, water, whatever it is that connects us. Okay, we all have the ability to adopt a similar connection despite our differences. We can sever it or we can hold on to it. Just because she's your mother or your father does not mean that they can just push you off to the side because you say that you're gay. Okay? It does not mean that. So why would you want to put yourself through that? Because you being gay, bi, or whatever does not define you. Does not make you up as the person that you are, okay? And what I told him was that picture you driving on a highway, okay? A lot of people drive on the highway. Me and him could be driving on the highway in separate cars, okay? I have my destination, he has his destination, okay? As we're driving along the highway, we're passing certain signs that are telling us where to go, how to get to here. Mind you, we're dodging different people, okay? There is not one sign that prohibits you from getting to your destination. There's not one sign that turns your car off to stop you from moving through the course of your travel, okay? So if you're driving down that highway and it says, Wesley is gay, turn left. Or Wesley is gay in 95 miles or whatever, okay? You're still going to get through that destination. You're going to pass that sign. That you being gay is that sign that you're passing, okay? The destination that you need to get to is your ultimate goal. So that sign is irrelevant. You being gay is irrelevant. It does not matter because it's not your definition as a person. And that's what I want you guys to understand, okay? Being gay is okay. Being straight is cool. But who cares? It's not you as a person.
It's about loving yourself, you know what I'm saying? Go for the goal, you know what I'm saying? Whatever makes you happy, not caring about what anybody thinks, you know what I'm saying? Because like I told him, I said opinions is like assholes. Everybody got them, you know what I'm saying? We all got assholes, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's whatever. This world to me is like high school, you know what I'm saying? 1 minute you're the next story and then somebody else go through some shit and then they're another story, you know what I'm saying? Nobody's really thinking about you. Like, who gives a fuck? You know what I'm saying? Like, straight cheese, you know what I'm saying? Straight cheddar. Like, who cares? You know what I mean?
And so it took a lot. No, it didn't really. He was very receptive and he was very understanding of what the information that we was giving him, and it was sad to really hear him say that, you know, his mother disowned him. I know there's situations out there in the world where things are a lot worse, where things happen a lot worse, and that's what I told him. I said, you have to understand that things could be worse, and that's what he said. But I want you to truly understand that, okay? You're living with your grandmother right now, and that's fine because you have a roof over your head. You can be homeless. You can be out on the streets. Right now in New York, we just had a blizzard, okay? Picture living outside in the midst of a blizzard because nobody wants to accept you. So that could be your life right now. So things could be definitely worse. True that, okay? Your mother disowning you, whoever disowning you. Unfortunately, that's a part of this travel. That's a part of your journey on the highway. Okay? You might come through some accidents on the road. It might stall you along the line because you want to be nosy, see what's going on. But you still have to drive forward.
I had to stop because I had to take a mean piss.
So, you still have to drive forward. Okay? And you still have to do what it is that your life compels you to do. Okay? So, at the end of the day, the ultimate message that I want you guys to understand is that being gay, okay, although some people may say it's a choice, some people know that it's not, whatever the case, whatever you feel, you don't have to walk up to somebody and out yourself. You don't. And I completely understand for people that don't want to out themselves and for people that, want to remain in-house. Because you never know what the world is going to give you. Okay? But if you're a grown individual and you have your own, there should be no reason why the light. Oh, you turned it off. Oh, sorry. There should be no reason why, okay, you allow yourself to be defined by your sexual orientation. Okay?
Who cares? We live in a world, you know what I'm saying? And I mean, half of the industry people out there, you know what I'm saying? Who's to say that?
A lot of the biggest rappers out there.
You know, they get down on the low.
Go ahead. Go.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Are you fancy, huh?
It is with us.
No,
it is what it is. I mean, we're not labeling people. We're not giving any names, but it's to each his own. And you got to be the change you wish to see in the world. And I'm always say that.
Say that one more time.
You got to be the change you wish to see in the world.
Say that one more time.
You got to be the change you wish to see in the world.
Say it one more time.
You gotta be the change you wish to see in the world.
One more time.
You gotta be the change you wish to see in the world.
And so basically what that means is, okay, if you want to see positive energy in the world, be the positive energy in the world.
Be, that's the key word.
And that's all it is.
You know what I'm saying? Don't care about what anybody
now,
thinks.
I thought about suicide.
You thought about suicide. We're gonna get another topic. You sure you ready for that though?
No, I mean it is what it is. It's
right,
the truth. I thought about it. And I contemplated.
Can I just say one thing? It's short and sweet. I thought about suicide myself. I'm cool. I'm this. I'm that. You know what I'm saying? Actually, when I decided to do that, you know what I'm saying, I heard voices, telling me like, Michael, you shouldn't do this. And it was crazy because I would never think I would ever hear voices, but something hit me and someone was telling me like, Michael, this, that. This is when I was younger because there's certain things I couldn't accept. I lived my life the way I lived it, but it wasn't exactly the way I felt I should live it. You know what I'm saying? So I felt maybe a bit insecure about certain situations or whatever it is, but it wasn't that serious. You know why? Because there's people out there going through worse, completely worse than what you're going through. You know what I'm saying? But I did have that moment myself living in the straight world. You know what I'm saying? And I wish that even the people that have committed suicide, you know what I'm saying, for certain particular situations we're not going to name, that we all know, that we may be in tune to, different stories out there, you know what I'm saying, in the world, what's going on. There's people that's committed suicide because this person found out they were gay, they had a video, such and such, or whatever. Whatever, justice is justice, whatever. Who cares? Whatever. But the point is, I wish those people that decided to make those decisions and ending their life, ending their worth, ending their value, were able to hear this video, you know what I'm saying, to keep in touch with themselves, because we're all about ourselves, you know what I'm saying. Like I said, there's going to be a whole bunch of people that's going to probably feel like, you know what, hey, he does video with Wes. Oh, did you hit it yet? Did you do this? Did you do that? You know what? It's not even about that. You know what I'm saying? And if you feel that, you can kiss my ass. But point blank, this is my B fam. If you had a brother or a sister, like I said, if you had a sister that was lesbian, you had a brother that was gay, whatever it is, would you actually neglect them? You know what I'm saying? That's the question. And you could definitely put that, comment on the video, you know what I'm saying? If you think that, whether we give scenarios or questions, you can actually try to adopt that connection and try to say, would you actually neglect them? And why? If you were to neglect them, you know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, they're blood. You know what I'm saying? How would you handle that situation? You know what I'm saying? How would you handle that situation? We're not blood. You know what I'm saying? But this is my B fam. The day I see somebody try to pop off, get them jump, or do this or do that, I'm gonna fuck somebody up. I'm gonna tell you straight up. Remember my face, once again, you know what I'm saying, from the last video, remember my face or whatever it is. The day he gets hurt, you know what I'm saying, I'll be hurt with him. But that'll be a fight to the death, you know what I'm saying? And don't you think that you're going to ever lay your hands on Wes, and don't you think you're going to ever lay your hands on me? You know what I'm saying? Because it's not happening. I fight. I unbox shit. You know what I'm saying? For those of y'all who know unbox. You know what I'm saying? But it's not about violence. Not at all.
I thought we covered that in the last
It's not about violence, but I'm just letting it know that we're on some chill shit. Yeah, it's alright, baby. You know what I'm saying? It's not even about that. It's about, you know, living life to the fullest. Be who you are, as you are, who you are. Comfortable of who you are. Be comfortable in your own skin to know enough that there's gonna be people that's not gonna like you, and there's gonna be people out there that's not gonna mind who you are. You know what I'm saying?
It takes a lot for
you know what I'm saying? Who gives a fuck?
A quote unquote whatever kind of label you want to give this man, straight, whatever. It takes a lot for a straight man to do this. Now, to be honest, I have a couple straight friends. Okay. They all act differently around me, but it's all genuine and it's all real. Now, Jay, the person that you hear with the high-pitched voice that y'all say sounds like a girl, he's straight as an arrow. Now, you know, he believe it or not, but he's cool with me, you're stupid, because he understands, you know, it's not about that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there is a possibility for gays and straights to exist in the world without, you know, a sexual connection, without, oh, they fucked before, or without anything like that's ignorant.
There's a respect factor, you know what I'm saying? You know who I am and I know who you are, so let's chill and let's keep it like that.
It's possible. For the people out there that are going through life like Angel, okay? Basically, I mean, the same thing that I told him is the same thing that I'll tell you. Okay, it was easier, like I said, it was easier for me to live the life that I wanted to live because I didn't feel compelled to tell somebody that I was gay, because as a person, that doesn't define me. It's just a part of me. It's the sign on my highway, okay? So for you guys out there, my advice to you would be, do not feel compelled to tell somebody that you are or that you like to sleep with men, women, whatever. It doesn't really matter. That doesn't define. If that defines your soul, then there's a bigger problem at hand. That's number one. Number two, I was 17 when I moved out, okay? And I had 3 jobs and I was working hard to move out because I wanted to live an independent lifestyle. Once you obtain an independent lifestyle, you don't feel compelled to do anything at all because you're living by your own rules and standards. Once you get out of the family household and all of that, it becomes a lot easier for you to live whatever life you want to live. So work on that. Be about that.
Work on it.
Okay? Number 3. Understand that no matter what adopted connection you have with anybody, no matter if it's your mother, your father, your brother, your sister, your friend, whatever, they have the choice and the right to continue to adopt that similar connection with you or to sever that similar connection with you. They have that option. So just because he's my brother doesn't mean he has to like me or care about me when I tell him that I'm gay. He might hate my guts. He might turn against me. He might try to physically harm me.
Right.
But that's his right. There's nothing I can do about that. If that's what he wants to do, that's what he wants to do. You guys need to understand that. Know that when you decide to give somebody that type of information, ignorance will show its face in true value. All of its ugliness and its glory will show, depending on how this person wants to react. So you need to think about that. Doesn't matter if she's your mother, if he's your father, whatever. If you tell them that you're gay because you feel compelled to, for whatever reason, you will reap the consequences. Okay? Not every situation is going to be in a position to where the person is going to be okay with what you've told them. You need to understand that.
Understand that.
And accept that.
Accept.
Okay? Your mother does not have to love you because you're their son or their daughter. Your father does not have to love you because you're their son or their daughter.
Who cares?
Just think about similar situations, or not similar, but just think about situations where a father leaves their child or a mother leaves their child, not even knowing their sexual orientation or anything like that. He just leaves. He just ups and leaves. That happened to me. My father just up and left for whatever particular reason. Had nothing to do with me and my sexual orientation. He just up and left. So your sexual orientation does not matter. Okay? It depends on the person.
And you got to think about it also, you know, with him living that lifestyle, you know what I'm saying, with his father leaving, he still managed to adopt his own connection, you know what I'm saying, to being who he is and who he is to the world, and not giving a fuck about what everybody feels, but he managed to adopt that connection, and that's what it is, you know what I'm saying. You don't need a father, you don't need a mother, whatever. It's you're in this world, you know what I'm saying, whether you was born. I don't care if you had parents that was crackheads or whatever it is, you know what I'm saying. You could break that chain. You could be the change you wish to see in the world. You could be who you know what I'm saying. You could break that chain. You could tell your own story in your own book. Like, who gives a fuck? You know what I'm saying. Oh, my life was this and such. Who gives a fuck? It doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying. Just live it. You could change that.
We all have one life to live. So why live it in a prison?
Right.
And a society's prison at that.
Right.
Society, which doesn't typically make sense. Society is, you know, we have music television, but there's never any music on the television. Society, to where we say that we practice freedom of speech and we have freedom of will, but if you decide to walk, you know, sideways on the street, you get arrested.
Yeah.
You know, society on where, you know, there's,
you know what I'm saying?
There's racism, there's prejudice. Please.
Really?
Why do you want to live in that society and have that society define who you are as a person?
Start your own story. Start your own legacy. You know what I'm saying? You start your tribe. You know what I'm saying? Your children's. Everybody, you know what I'm saying, that can tell your story, whether you're long and gone. You know what I'm saying? And that's a lot of things that you have to, you know, value from a lot of these artists. Because, you know, you have a lot of these artists that they do the music thing, they write their music or whatever, but you know what it is? When they're gone, they have a legacy. You know what I'm saying? And within the legacy, there's a legend. You know, a legend for whatever it is, for whatever situation, whatever. You gotta be your own legend. You know what I'm saying? You gotta start your own legacy. You gotta start your own story. Everybody has a story for their own book, and it may be the same thing, but you may have lived differently. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta start that. So you gotta definitely be the change you wish to see in the world.
So my thought process of suicide had a lot to do with just family situations and the way that I was dealing with life when I was at a young age. Okay, when I think about suicide now and the fact that I thought about it back then as I was standing on the bridge looking over, I look back and I'm like, wow, that was so not supposed to happen that way.
And you're from Connecticut, right?
Yeah. So it's like, why did I even think about it? Why did I even allow that thought process to even enter my mind as far as suicide? And it has a lot to do, and basically the answer is society and how I felt that I should be living my life is not how I was living my life. So I decided to allow society to tell me that I should kill myself, and that should never be how it is. Okay? So what you need to understand as a person is that how you want your life to be. How you want your life to be defined as. Are you defining your life, or is society defining your life? That's a key question that you need to answer. And the answer should be, you're defining your life. Fuck what MTV has to say. Fuck what BET has to say. Fuck what CNN has to say. Fuck what ABC, NBC, CW. Fuck all them channels.
Who gives a fuck? You know what I'm
New
saying?
York Times.
Seriously?
Okay. They all talk about things that are irrelevant to you and your existence.
And new and
because you define your existence.
Right.
You adopt similar connections despite your differences with the people that are around you. If you want to link to this chain, then you'll link to this chain. If you want to link to this chain, then you'll link to this chain. We all have that option, no matter what type of title we have. B-fam, best friend, brother from another mother, sister, brother, father, mother, auntie, niece. No matter what title we give ourselves. I can push him away, he can push me away. We have that option.
You know, but it's
Understand
like
that.
as far as we connect
Move
with our
beyond
existence, you know what I'm saying? You got people that want to report that existence, you know what I'm saying? And they're gonna define it as how they feel and you know what I'm saying, and their perspective, you know what I mean? But that's how they feel, you know what I'm saying? You got a lot of people that talk shit about you, but they don't know you. They don't know your self-value. They don't know your self-worth. They don't know what the things you believe in. They don't know about your peace with harmony, peace in the world, peace with whatever. Whether you into recycling, all types of shit, they don't know you. They just want something to talk about because you seem so interesting. And if you think about it, the people that talk shit about you, that don't know about you, always have some shit to talk about you. They don't know you. They don't know you. They try so hard to try to know you because you don't give that. But why should you feed into that? You know what I'm saying?
So understand, okay, as we close off on this video, because this is an extremely long video and we understand. And if you've gotten to the end of this video, I love you to death. Okay? But understand this. No one defines your life but you. Okay?
But you.
If you decide to tell somebody that you're gay, bi, whatever, that's your choice. But you're not obligated to, and don't feel that you are obligated to tell somebody your sexual orientation. It does not matter. It does not define your soul, pure energy and essence.
Who gives a shit?
Understand that. Also understand that if you need somebody to talk to, if you need some comforting advice or whatever the case may be, you have myself and you have Mike. Mike loves to talk. He'll talk a mile a minute, okay? But I've lived that particular lifestyle, the lifestyle which we're talking about, so I have a formulated opinion based on experience. So if you want to contact me, definitely do so, okay? What I want from you guys to gain from this video, the connection that I want you to adopt is that if you go through life without telling somebody that you're gay, that's fine. Because not one straight person comes out of their mouth and says that they're straight as an introduction. So don't feel compelled to do the same.
True.
Okay? If you're young, it's okay. We've all been young at one point. We grow up. We become mature. Okay? Just figure out what you want your life to be defined as. Even if you're 15, 16, 17. I was 17. It can be done.
Fuck it.
Just let it happen. Okay? ACONNECTIONTV is all about adopting similar connections despite our differences. Now, this particular video was to enlighten the masses on a whole, collectively, in regard to sexual orientation. It does not matter. Stop labeling yourself. Okay? Who am I? I am Wesley. Who are you?
I'm Michael.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
You never heard me say I am gay Wesley, or I am, hey, what's going on, girl?
Or you know what? I'm in the show, but I'm straight. I just want to let you guys know that I'm straight, and I'm not really gay, and I'm straight, and this is my B fam, and yeah.
Okay.
Who gives a fuck?
Now, anyways,
really,
we'll leave that to you guys.
We can leave that to y'all for y'all to decide
how how that needs to be. But at the end of the day, you define your life. You adopt similar connections despite your difference. It's all choice. It's all freedom of will and freedom of soul.
Freedom of will.
You need to understand that.
You're putting this word.
Be about that and know that as the truth. Okay? That's it.
It's about living life's purposes, you know what I'm saying?
Being gay
despite
is okay.
your differences.
Being straight is cool. But who cares?
Who really gives a fuck?
Once again, being gay is okay. Being straight is cool. But who cares?
Okay. Who cares? Who gives a fuck? Like,
I am Wesley from ACONNECTIONTV.
And I'm Michael from ACONNECTIONTV. And we are B fam.
We are brothers from another mother.
You know what I'm saying? All day.
I'm the cutest one.
Nah, I don't know about that. We got to push out the camera a little bit. You
Whatever.
Know just, you know what I'm saying? Actually, I'm the cutest one. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to shut. You know, I don't want to shut. You know.
B fam. B fam. B fam.
We are B fam on the show. We are B fam on the show. We are but brothers from another mother. We are brothers from another mother.
Shout out to everybody that hit up
All
Bonus
day,
Revenge
every
because
day.
that was the
You know what I'm
illest.
saying? Shout out to my button down shirt.
Your rhymes
You know
alike,
what I'm saying?
MTV, no music.
No music, bitch.
Ah.
Ow.
Love y'all.
We love
Later.
y'all. Enjoy.